Accola, and he'll visit a little bit about the history of the farm and tell us a little bit about the equipment as we go through there. So, Rick Accola, give us a little background of the farm.
Well, it used to be a hog farm, and as of late, since 1997, it's just been about 400-acre crop farm, corn and beans mainly, and just operated that, some rental, some own acre. Just kind of ran the crops up until 2 years ago. Last year I rented everything out. So pretty much all this machinery was shedded. Everything's been shedded for its life usually if it's not operating, and then last year it didn't even operate, it just sat in the shed because I had everything rented out for crop acres.
As we go down through there, through the equipment, we'll give a little bit of history of the equipment and what we know about it, as well as some of the equipment. A lot of the equipment is one owner. They bought it new here on the farm, and it's only been on the farm. And so we'll get some more information. We can even start right here on this tractor, the John Deere 7230. So, Rick, what can you tell us about this tractor?
Well, this tractor, it's got about 2,316 hours, so it's fairly low hour, and we bought it brand new. It's mainly been my planting and sprayer tractor, and for 400 acres every year, and then also it runs my grain auger, puts the grain in the bin. But other than that, that's pretty much all it does. It's been maintained. I usually try to change oils and filters on all of my machinery at least once a year, whether the hours say it or not, just to start fresh every year. Other than that, it's been a very good, reliable tractor.
Well, we're moving on to the 1997 9500 John Deere Combine, and Rick, you can tell us a little bit about this combine or what work's been done, or what the history is on it. So.
Sure. Yeah, it's real good combine. It's all been maintained. I've taken it to Mid-State Equipment and have their inspections done, and then they service it. It's got a fairly new pan and a feeder house chain. A lot of conveyors have been replaced recently. Walker bushings, bearings. It's actually, a lot of the updates have been put on it here just recently, and it's got, I guess, about 3,100 hours on the separator, and about a little over 5,000 hours on the engine, and yeah, it's been a real good machine.
Very good. And we've got paperwork to go through what everything's been done. So if come to the open house, we'll have the paperwork ready so you can take a look at any of that. And any questions, Mid-State's been doing the work as well. So as we move on to from the combine, the two heads and the head carts will be selling. And Rick, what can you tell us about the heads from that standpoint?
Well, the corn head is a 693. It's got adjustable stripper plates in it. It's been a real good head. Got the poly snoots with the poly ends on it, and the flex head. It's a good bean head. The poly pans underneath could be replaced. They're still there, good, but they are getting wore. But other than that, everything's good and straight, and it worked excellent the last time I used it, which was a couple years ago.
Moving on to the 4755, you've had this on the farm, and tell us about this tractor.
Well, I bought it used from Mid-State Equipment about 3-4 years ago now, and I've used it on the grain cart mainly. It's just been my grain cart tractor, and it's got plenty of power and weight to handle my grain cart. When I did purchase it, they did do some replacing on all the clutch packs. Other than that, it's been a real good, clean tractor. And beforehand, I was told it was on a custom baling, big square baler operator.
Moving on to the grain carts and gravity boxes, Rick, I know you've bought a lot of these. Tell us what you've bought. Some of them are one owners, and tell what you know about them.
Yeah, I pretty much, this grain cart here, I rented it for a couple years, and then they had a rent-to-own option, which the rent payment went towards the purchase price, and that's what I did. And It came from Mid-State Equipment. It's very good shape. It did, like I said, 400 acres a year, and it didn't do anything last year. It sat in the shed. All these wagons have been shedded when they're not in use. The Brent 744, we purchased that new. They all travel good. They've all been good. I did add the Sherlock roll tarps on the two wagons, just so when we're harvesting on some rented ground, if they had to sit out overnight or whatever, we could just cover it up. That seemed to work all right. So.
As we move down the line, we'll come on to the John Deere 6-row 7200 corn planter, as well as the sprayer. So, Rick, what can you tell us about the planter?
Well, the planter is a conservation planter. It's all set up for no-till liquid fertilizer in furrow. And we bought it used. It used to be a vacuum planter, which I am selling the old vacuum units. But I redid it all to precision planting, V-set, V-drive. It's all electric drive planter units, and it's got the precision planting 2020 monitor that goes with it, and the receiver, satellite receiver. It still runs off of the vacuum pump, or vacuum hydraulic pump, so it's a vacuum planter, but it does it all electronically. And it's all got the gauge wheels and the coulters and everything underneath have been replaced and used 1 year, 1 season. I replaced all the gauge wheel arms, bushings, and gauge wheels, all brand new, and used it 1 season.
And about 400 acres.
And 400 acres worth on it, so they're fairly good shape. The sprayer I purchased brand new. I don't recall what year, and that's a 500-gallon high profile with a 45-foot boom hydraulic fold. It's got the Raven ball valves on it, and it's a direct drive pump. So the pump doesn't have a belt; it's direct drive, PTO driven, and it includes all the controls that comes with it.
Okay, we're on to the tractor, the John Deere 2950, and another good tractor. Rick, tell us about the history of this tractor.
Well, we bought this brand new, and it's got about 5,620 hours or so on it. It's been a real good two-wheel drive tractor. Originally, when we bought it, it was to replace a 4020 and basically ran a feed mill until we updated our feed mill system. But as of late, it just was hooked up to a brush hog, 7-foot brush hog, and just mowed field trails and field edges and lanes. So and the wheels are all spread. The axles are spread as wide as they can go for stability.
Very good, and a lot of like new rubber in the rear, so it's a good solid tractor.